This is Michael L. Dublin Sr. I'm coming to you again with a message that I hope will just cause you to think. I don't do very much in teaching per se, but I'm always trying to challenge you to think so that the things that I bring to you, I want you to think about them as you go through your life's journey. These are things that you think about on a daily basis because they will transform your life. I'm convinced that our lives are transformed on a daily basis. And we miss that opportunity sometimes in just the smallest little nugget or the smallest little opportunity to make that particular change. In Psalm 122, the psalmist says, I was glad when they said, let us go into the house of the Lord. And then in verse 2, he goes on to say that we will have our feet standing in the gates of Jerusalem. Now, it's a powerful, powerful psalm if you went no further than that. My hope would be that you would just actually study Psalm 122. But what really jumped out at me was, I was glad when they said, let us. That in itself could go on and on and on. But the psalmist is saying, I'm glad, I was delighted, I rejoiced when they said, who are they? Who is it that along with him wants to go to the house of the Lord, and they are excited about it? They are rejoicing about it, and their feet will be standing there in Jerusalem. Now, I'm not going to get very technical in this. It's not designed for that. But you know that there are more than one Jerusalem. So there is the Jerusalem in Psalm 122, but there's also one in Revelation 21. What's exciting to me about it is in Psalm 122, they would have to go up to Mount Zion. So those who were going up knew that they symbolically were not just going to go to Jerusalem, to the house of God, but they were going to have to go up. They were going to have some struggle. There were some issues, so it wasn't going to be easy to get there. But the they that I ask you about is symbolic of your own brothers and sisters and your friends and those who are part of your life. How often are you involved with someone who's excited about going to the worship, excited about going to the house of God, excited about going to events and places where the whole emphasis is on God and our becoming what God would created us to be? How excited are you, and what group of people do you hang with? I'm saddened at times when I read some of the posts on Facebook because some of it is so negative, even when it comes from a good person. When we're talking about the right pitch of a song, when we're talking about a particular worship leader or the conditions for worship. But when you have a let's go to church, I'm excited, I want to go, I want to give of myself. I'm not going there to be the critic. I want to worship. Worship is unlike anything else. And once we get excited about let's go and let's go up, because everybody has their own story. So by the time you get to worship, the us is going to be more powerful than ever before because we have our story. So let's consider what is it and who are the people that can say every week, let's go. I'm excited about it. Who's calling, who's texting, who's Facebook and whatever else, social media, just verbally. Who do you hang with that's really, really very positive about God himself and is very patient with the brothers and sisters? Because you see, in Revelation, there is a new Jerusalem. And in that Jerusalem, you don't have to have all of the tears. In fact, you're not going to have any of that, and God is going to be the sunshine and the sunlight, won't even need the moon. And even in that particular Jerusalem, the new city, he says it's up on a mountain, but we don't have to struggle up that mountain. That's just symbolic of what God has brought us through. So from one Jerusalem to the other, and it's not about who was chosen and those things. It's all about that Jerusalem is chosen by God, just like you've been chosen by God. So let's spend our time developing a worship attitude, a attitude that wants to hear the stories of your brothers and sisters, that wants to forgive them and wants to go to a place and a gathering where your presence is in the presence of God. And finally, he says, peace. Everybody wants to be at peace, even when we're creating chaos and don't even know it. But Jesus is the Prince of Peace. So from one Jerusalem to the other, God continues to say that you and I, have the Prince of Peace. Not just a cessation of war, but moving positively toward being peacemakers. And when you become a worshiper and we become a worshiper, when we get excited about let us, when they said let us, get yourself a group of people that you're determined to pray together, stay together, and worship the Most High God, so that you symbolize the church and everything that she is and everything that she can be. God bless you, and remember, it's all about let us.